Good Sunday afternoon, friends. How are you? Come on in, take a seat. It's Sunday, so you know what that means. Sunday dinner. So what are we having today? If you watched my video yesterday, you know I haven't been feeling well. I feel better today, and I'm actually hungry. And Brock mentioned chicken noodles the other day, and I thought, oh, that really does sound good. That's what we're having. Homemade chicken noodles, mashed potatoes, corn. That's Sunday dinner. So last night when I got home from work, I put in my slow cooker back here 4 frozen chicken thighs. I personally like thighs for noodles because I think it makes it just a yummy broth. So you can use whatever kind of chicken that you would like. Now a lot of people are intimidated by noodles. They're not hard. And so Brock is usually our noodle maker. And his mom's noodles are so amazing. I can't replicate those, but I'm going to try. Now, like I said, usually Brock makes the noodles, but he is working on our taxes, getting things prepared for our accountant. So I volunteered to make the noodles. Fingers crossed they're just as good as his, but I will let him cut them because he cuts them finer than I can. So let's just get ready with the noodle recipe. So we're going to do 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Get your big old bowl. Take off your jewelry. Pour that flour right into your bowl. You want some extra flour for later, and you need 4 large eggs and salt. That's it. That's all you need for noodles. You're going to dig out a hole in the middle, a well. Get your well in there. Push all that flour up to the sides. Okay. Get my well dug. Dig your well. Mason took a short trip to Kentucky. He's back. He went yesterday, and he was back this afternoon. He'll be hungry, so I need to make us a big old batch here. So we're going to drop our eggs right in the well. How's everybody doing? So if you watched my video yesterday, you know I bought a camper. No forethought with that. No reasoning behind it. Wasn't even talking about getting a camper. Wasn't even on my radar, but I saw it pull in and I knew I had to have it. Will be a mistake? I don't know, but we're going to enjoy it while we have it. We're going to take it. Our friend is a mechanic. He owns a mechanic shop here in town, and then we also have friends who own a camper place that sells campers, and we're going to have them check it out. So we're going to make sure she's good to go before we take her. We're not going to take her very far. We live really close to lots of great parks, so state parks, so we can camp. So I got to go. My mom's calling me. I'll be right back. All right. Tried to call my mom. She was outside. She called me back. I told her I'd call her back because I'm in the middle making some noodles. Okay, so we've got our 4 eggs in there. You're going to start beating those eggs up. Right in there. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to beat those eggs up right in that well, and as I beat them, I'm going to start pulling that flour into those eggs. Make sense? Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. And we're just going to keep pulling. Oh, I forgot my salt. I like a pinch of salt. Some people like it, some people don't. I like my salt. Pinch of salt in there. Keep pulling those eggs and that flour into your well. I'm trying to hold it up here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Just kind of work your way out and add that flour to your egg mixture as you go. Okay? Listen, don't be uptight about it. Don't be upset about it. Don't fret about it. They're just noodles. They're going to taste delicious no matter what you do. Or I think they taste delicious. I haven't met too many noodles I don't like. Or dumplings. See, and I'm making a mess. I had enough sense to put an apron on. Okay, so now we're getting to the point where it's getting harder to incorporate that flour. So now we're going to go in with our hands. I'll leave that here just in case I need it. So here's what it's kind of looking like. So then I start to use my hands. And get in there. Knead it like you're making bread. go. Keep incorporating that flour. Go. And there is our dough. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this flour, put it right out here on my board here, and then I'm going to start working it in. You want to work it over pretty good, at least 5 or 6 minutes. You want to give it. So I won't bore you doing this, but this is what you want to continue to do. You don't want to watch me do this for 5 minutes. As entertaining as I am, I'm sure you don't want to watch that for 5 minutes. So I'm just going to keep working my dough, and then I will come back when I am done, and I'll let you see what that consistency looks like.
I'll be right back.
All right, so our dough is worked over. Here it is. Now I've transferred my chicken from my slow cooker to my Dutch oven, so we can get it going. Make sure your broth is good and salty. Salt, pepper, you really want that good salt in there for the noodles. Now I know Brock's not going to want to be on camera, so I'm going to show you what he does. So basically he will take a piece of this dough and he rolls out in small sections. This is his technique. You can do your own, and he will just roll this out. This is why he's the roller. I'm not a very good roller. He will roll this out to the consistency that he wants. Okay. And then here, there's a couple ways you can cut it. So you roll it out to consistency if you want thick noodles, thin noodles. It's up to you. That's personal preference. So you can go in with a knife and cut strips, or you can take it and roll it like a jelly roll and then cut it like that. That is your choice. Some people like to let their dough set before they cut it. So we like to cut them and then let the noodles set for a little bit so that they don't. I have never found any difference as far as drying them. I mean, some people may know, if you're a noodle expert, I've never really tasted the difference between letting them set for very long and cooking them fresh. Honestly, I have not. So that's up to you. If you want to let your dough set for 30 minutes, then slice it, or slice the noodles and let them rest for a little bit while your broth comes to a boil. You do whatever you want. I personally am impatient, and I want to eat, and I think they look good, and so I don't typically let them wait very long. All right, so this is it. Roll it out however you want it. Cut them however you want, and then I'll come back and show you the cooking process. I'm gonna go get my husband and make him cook these noodles. Gotta earn his keep, right? Yeah, gotta earn his keep. All right, so we're here at the stove, so you can see what's going on. My chicken broth and my chicken is coming to a good rolling boil. Now, I didn't measure my broth. I just put extra on my chicken when I cooked it in the slow cooker. And then I have a box of chicken broth here just in case I don't have enough. So I want you to look at these noodles. I mean, look at that skill, those knife skills. This is why I have Brock cut the noodles. He can get them nice and thin. I'm going to put these in a little bit at a time. We're going to stir them into that broth. Now they've been sitting for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. Not very long. Look at those. Look. Aren't they gorgeous? That man can fillet a fish with a knife quicker than anybody I've ever seen in my entire life. All right. Let's get those all incorporated in there. And I can tell by how thick it is, I'm going to need a little bit more broth. This would make some fantastic chicken noodle soup. If you wanted to add some carrots and you wanted to add some celery to that broth, oh my goodness. Look at that, friends. Look at that gloriousness. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit more broth. I don't want them too runny. But as those noodles cook, they will start to swell, you know? So I'll keep it here on the sidelines just in case. I'm gonna bring this back up to a boil. And once it comes back to a boil, I'm gonna set the timer for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to shut my heat off and put my lid on and let them cook the rest of the way. Jake's very excited because he's wanting this chicken. And I will share with you later, Jake. All right, I'm gonna let this come to a boil and I will be right back. So our 10 minutes is up. They've come to a boil and I'm going to turn off the heat. And you wanna watch your heat. Turn down, you know, as you need. Look at those, friends. They are looking delicious. I'm gonna put the lid on. Now that our time's up, I've turned off the heat and shut the timer off here. I'm gonna mash the potatoes. By the time the mashed potatoes are done and the corn is ready, we are going to be ready for Sunday dinner. Ooh. So I did want to say really quickly that I added a couple of tablespoons of like chicken bouillon to my broth. I don't always do it, but I thought, why not? I have it on hand. Let's do it, a couple tablespoons. And I say all in all, probably 4 to 6 cups of broth. I guess it would depend on how many noodles you make. So now's the best time. Time to eat Sunday dinner. Just good old-fashioned Sunday dinner. So we've got our mashed potatoes. I always mash these by hand. Because I don't know. I always have. Mashed potatoes. We've got some freezer sweet corn here. Ooh-wee for our vegetable. And then we've got the star of the show. Let me move these out of the way. These wonderful chicken noodles. Brock and I teamwork to make. He did the cutting and the rolling. Look at that. Full of that wonderful chicken thighs. Not too much broth. Perfectly cooked for us. There we go. There you have it. Perfect old-fashioned Sunday dinner. Let's give it a try. Sorry about that. Oh, from not having much of an appetite and not feeling well and then having this delicious comfort meal, what a blessing. All right, speaking of blessing, you are all a blessing to me. Thank you for hanging out. And once again, have a Sunday dinner with me. Hope you are all well. And I'll give you updates on the camper. All right, I'm going to go eat. Happy Sunday, y'all. Love you.